Hi everyone, it's Chrissie and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we're actually in StrangerVille, which is a world that I haven't built in forever, it feels like. I think the last build that I did here might have been either the library, the Roswell's Manor, or a recreation that I did for my save file of the Smith family home from Strangetown in Sims 2. I can't remember which one of those three was the last one that I did, but in any case, it has been forever since I've built in StrangerVille, which is a shame because it is one of my favorite worlds actually. It might sound weird, but I do really like StrangerVille. I'm not a huge fan of the gameplay of the pack. I played it once and I've never touched it again. But I do really like the world and I like the style of the world basically. So the houses and the lots that I can build here, I love that. So I'm really excited to actually be building a rec center in StrangerVille. So because StrangerVille is such a small world, it's only a game pack, so I wasn't expecting, when it came out, I wasn't expecting the world to be huge like 𝘕𝘠𝘕𝘌𝘍𝑒 or anything. But it is only, I believe it has what, like 5 lots, not 5 lots, it has like 5 lots in each neighborhood, I think. So I think it has either like 10 or 11 lots. I'm not sure completely, I can't remember, but it's not a huge world. And because of that, and because there are actually lots that you do need for the storyline aspect of the pack, like you need to have a bar and you need to have the library. So because of that, I didn't want to change those community lots to be other things and kind of like take the chance of messing up the storyline aspect. So because of that, and because I did want to have quite a few families living here as well, I kind of ran out of lots when it came to thinking about, adding community lots and stuff like that. So I could add, like in my plan for StrangerVille for my save, I had like 1 empty lot that I could turn into a community lot, and I could do like a park. I was originally thinking about doing a park, but then obviously we got the Growing Together expansion and we got rec centers. So I figured, let's kill like two birds with one stone, or whatever the saying is, and like do a rec center build, because that actually has the ability to be so many different things. And just the rec center lot type as a whole has it requires you to have games tables and like game things. It requires you to have musical instruments and workout equipment and play equipment for kids, and it's such a nice functional lot to have. And especially when you do something smaller like this. So this is only built on a 30 by 20 lot. It's not a huge lot. If you guys watched the Smith house recreation that I did for the Smith family, I did build their house on this lot originally. This is I think it's like cliffside something or other. Either way, the correct name will be in the top left, and I'll have it in the description as well. But I built their house on this lot originally, and when I came to doing the rec center, when I decided that I was going to do a rec center, I wanted a lot that had a front to it that kind of felt a little bit more commercial, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't want it to look like it's a residential front, like a residential driveway bit. And all of the other lots that I had empty that were 30 by 20s, they all had either like really weird curvy connections to the road, like pathways, or stuff like that. They very much looked like this is supposed to be a house on this lot, not a commercial community place. So I decided to move the Smith family to where the eclectic arts household usually is. I evicted them. They will not be living anywhere in my save. They will still be there, they'll just be like in the town bin. But yeah, so I evicted them, moved the Smith family and their house to that lot, and now I'm building the community center on this lot. So yeah, I don't know, I felt like having the big rectangular front kind of like driveway bit just felt way more commercial, or like community style rather than house style. So yeah, I really like that, and I love the way this build turned out. Now, because it is such a small lot, I did have to get quite creative with the like different floors. So there's technically 4 floors on this build. There's 2 of them on like top of the ground, and then there's 2 basement levels as well. So yeah, I had to get quite creative because you do need quite a few things for the community, for the rec center. And I don't know, I wanted to add other things, like I wanted to add an art and crafts room and like a music room and stuff like that, but that would have required so much extra space that I just didn't have, because I wanted to have a outdoor space as well. And the main reason for that is I wanted this lot to look like it used to be a house. I wanted it to look like, you know, this used to be a house, and the community has maybe, you know, maybe it went into foreclosure like decades ago, and it was, you know, falling apart, and the community or the town actually came together and they renovated it. Maybe the Roswell family that lives actually right across the road, maybe they got tired of looking at a dilapidated, like falling apart old house. But it was such an old building that maybe it was like an historical building or something, so they weren't technically allowed to tear it down. So they decided, you know what, we're sick and tired of looking at this from like our front yard all the time, so we're gonna go ahead and renovate it. So maybe the town like decided, town council or whatever, decided that they're gonna renovate this, and instead of turning it into a house, maybe because it is such an old lot and such an old building, they maybe like couldn't turn it into a residential house again because it did have like historical status or something. I don't know, this is just me making up something on the spot. But yeah, so maybe because it was such an old like lot and such an old building, they decided to turn it into something for the whole community to enjoy, and instead of turning it into some kind of like museum or, you know, something like that, they decided to make it a little bit more fun, and they turned it into a rec center. Now in my head, you know, with that historical storyline thing, maybe they weren't allowed to change like the original structure of the house, but they were allowed to add to it. So they added the whole basement levels and stuff like that. So that's kind of the idea that I went with. And also I didn't want this house or like this lot to look like it didn't belong in this area of StrangerVille. So that is also why I wanted to go for this very like Victorian gothic kind of like carpenter gothic vibe for this build as well, like I did with all of the other residential houses in this area. And also just because this style is what I think of when I think of StrangerVille. I think of this style, and then I think of that like mid like western kind of style that the center of StrangerVille has, with like, I don't know how to describe it, but if you guys have seen any of my other StrangerVille builds for my save file, or just that I did way back when the pack came out, or over the years, I will have it linked on the screen, my playlist for StrangerVille specifically. But if you have seen any of those builds, a couple of them were like community lots. Like obviously I did the bar lot, I did the library for my save file, I also built a gym as well that I built in that little area, like the main town area. A small, like very small gym, kind of like a local gym. So yeah, I did that. But yeah, I'll have those linked obviously on the screen and probably in the description as well. But I really like the way this turned out. Now, you'll see that the lot does have a couple of different entrances, and I did that on purpose. I did this whole like color splitting thing on purpose because the dark blue door that you're seeing at the bottom, that is actually supposed to be like a renovated entrance for the gym. So in my head, the gym is the most modern, like newly added aspect of this build. So that's actually just a small foyer kind of like reception area for the gym, and that leads straight down into the basement to the gym and to the pool and all of that stuff, because yes, this lot does have a pool. But then the other one, the light green door, actually leads you into the main rec center space. So the first floor actually has a couple of games tables and some chess tables. I do eventually, right at the end, add in a couple of art easels as well. There's also a little small bathroom off to the side. And then they also have a little like kids playroom right at the back. And then you can also go up the stairs to the second floor, but there's also a little archway that leads you into a little cafe area. So a cafe isn't something that you need for a rec center lot. It's not a requirement for the lot type, but I did want to add it just in case you want your Sims to like come to the rec center and then have them hire a barista to tend that counter, so that they could, you know, get coffee, get something to eat. And I don't know, just it made sense to me, gameplay wise. It's a useful thing to have. So we have that little cafe, and that leads out onto the back with its own door, its own little patio seating area that leads outside, where I have a little splash pad almost kind of space for the kids. I also have a like big jungle gym, like pirate ship thing. I also add in a toddler slide, and I believe I add in a doll's house outside as well. So there's a lot for kids to do outside. And then the second floor actually has the kind of like more study-ish space. So there's a couple of bookcases up there. There's going to be 3 like research machines, the ones that came with Discover University for the research and debate skill. I have 3 of those up there. I also have a couple of computers and some seating. I also have another bathroom up there that has a changing table for infants and stuff like that, like the commercial fold-out changing table. I thought that was a good thing to add. Then they also have a like party space upstairs. So originally I was thinking about turning that into some sort of like wedding reception thing. I don't know why, when the rest of the lot is a little bit more like family oriented, if that makes sense. So I don't know why I was thinking wedding reception. I don't know where my brain was at when I thought that. But then when I started furnishing this build, we had actually gotten I actually finished this week, but the original planning, like the layout planning, was done a while ago. But obviously we recently got the new Party Essentials kit, which huge thank you to the Creator Network for giving me a code for that kit and for all of the other kits and packs and stuff as well. But yeah, huge thank you to the Creator Network for that. But I did use I used a lot of the Party Essentials kit items for that kind of like reception party room. So there's like a buffet table that came with, I think, My Wedding Stories, not the party kit. But yeah, I have a buffet table, I have a bar in there that, again, I think is the My Wedding Stories bar. But in any case, I used the dance floor from the new kit. I have the disco ball in there. I have the new like cake stand thing in there. You'll see when we get to it. But I also add in, I add in a couple of tables. I add in a little music corner as well. So that's where I put in the musical instruments that are actually a requirement for the rec center. So I have a standing piano up there. I have a violin, a guitar, and a microphone as well. So in case you wanted to have like live music at your, I don't know, like birthday party or whatever. And then I did decorate it a little bit. I added in a couple of balloons like to the walls, and I have a couple of standing balloon things as well. And I did try to make them like, I didn't want to like theme the party room too much. So all of the balloons and decorations are kind of like either pastel rainbows or like just regular rainbow colors. And I did that intentionally because I thought that, you know, if you were to hold a party here and you had like, let's say your Sims's daughter had a, you know, a birthday party and you wanted to throw it at the community center, you could very easily throw the party here and then just go into build mode and change up the balloon colors. For example, say her favorite color is like orange and she wanted orange balloons. You could very easily just go in and change the balloon colors and have a totally different looking space. Or if, you know, it's a retirement party and your Sims' favorite color is green, you could go in and change the balloon colors to all be green, and you'd have a different party space. So I wanted to decorate it for a party, but I didn't want to like theme the party, if that makes sense. So I wanted to do it in such a way where you could very easily go in, change up some colors, and then have a different party space. So I wanted to do that intentionally, so that's what I did with the party space. And I did add in some color on the bottom floor and the top floor. It kind of, when I was starting to furnish it, it looked a little bit beige to me, like it looked a little bit too beige. So I added in some pops of color with, you know, those rugs on the first floor underneath the little like not, I wanted to say cardboard stations. Why? What is wrong with me? But underneath the little game stables, I added in some circular rugs in different colors. I obviously have the sofas on the second floor that are a little bit more colorful. And I wanted to do it that way, where I have like pops of color instead of like big, bright, colorful rooms. Because I did think that, obviously, this isn't StrangerVille. The mayor of StrangerVille, canonically, is Ted Roswell. So his wife, Meredith, would probably have had a very big influence on what this building would look like when the town council or whatever decided to renovate it and repurpose it. So in my head, Meredith Roswell probably sits on like the town, I don't know, the town historical committee or whatever, and they are in charge of protecting the town's like historical buildings, or you know, something like that. And she would have had the final say about the like style of this place and the decorating and the furnishing. So yeah, that is probably why it is very beige. It's very beige, it's very neutral. And then, you know, to make people happy, she decided to add in a couple of, you know, pops of color. Nothing too bright, nothing too, like, over the top. But, yeah, it's very, I don't know, it's very Meredith to me for some reason. But I really, really like the way it turned out. And I really liked actually building a rec center. This, believe it or not, was the first rec center that I've built since we got Growing Together. Which is kind of embarrassing to admit, because Growing Together came out over a year ago at this point. But the rec centers, my ideas for rec centers always end up being bigger and more elaborate than I can actually execute well in the game for some reason. Like, I have these big ideas, and then when it actually comes to building them, I get overwhelmed and I stop and never touch it again. So I feel like that's why I wanted to do something a little bit smaller for this world, and why I wanted to do something on a 30x20 and make it a rec center, see what I could do and if I could make it work. Because trying to build a rec center as your like first try on like a 64x64 lot like in San Sequoia is a nightmare. Like, it is actually, it's so overwhelming. I've probably started and scrapped like 5 different versions that I've tried. Same with the high school. That's why I haven't built a high school yet, and we got high school years like 2 years ago. More than 2 years ago. Is because I've started and scrapped so many of them that I can't finish them. I don't know. I don't know if it's because I don't have any personal experience with big high schools, and like especially American high schools and stuff like that. I don't know if it's because of that or what, or because the lot is so big that I feel like I have to use the whole lot, and then I end up with a shell that is so big that it is so impractical, and then I just never finish it, and I scrap it, and then like 2 months later I start a new one, and I end up with like 6 different high schools that just will never get done and will never see the light of day. But yeah, so we've finished the top levels of the build. I hope you guys understood what I meant by the whole like party space, trying to keep it as like, not neutral, but like as, I guess, I don't know, easily decorate. I don't know what I mean, but I hope you guys understood what I meant by the party space. And now we've moved on to the basement levels. Now, When I started furnishing these basement levels and the gym area, I remembered that I really wanted to add in a yoga portion, and there just wasn't the space on the first basement level where the pool is. So I had the idea of actually building a basement down again and having the yoga studio on the like very lowest part, so basically on the second basement level, and having these windows into the pool, which I really like. I love the way it turns out. I wanted this room to feel very calm, and it has like the cloud ceilings and this like two-tone ombre wall that looks very naturey. And I wanted to have a lot of water and plants and stuff like that in this room to make it look very calm and very zen-like, which I absolutely love. I love the way this yoga studio turned out, and I'm obsessed with it. So yeah, this is the yoga studio portion, and then the gym is fairly basic. It doesn't have a lot in it. It has, I think, like 3 or 4 treadmills, a couple of weight machines, 2 punching bags, and then the pool, because I knew that that is one thing that I had to add in this build, is a pool, because it's in StrangerVille, it gets really hot, it's mostly sunny, and I feel like this is the perfect world that would have a community pool. It would. So because I couldn't build a separate pool lot in the world because I ran out of lots, I knew I wanted to have a community pool in this space. So yeah, we have a pool. We don't have a diving board or anything like that, but there is a pool. They have some workout equipment, they have the yoga studio, and I really like the way it turned out. So you guys will have to let me know what you think about it. That's also why I knew I wanted to add the like splash pad area in the back for the kids, because again, it's a hot world, like it's a very warm climate world, and having stuff like that is just useful. So I really like the way that turned out. You guys will have to let me know what you think about this build. But with all of that said, it is up on the gallery. You can go ahead and download it. It's completely CC free. It's not pack restricted at all because it's for my save file, so I don't pack restrict the builds for that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. And we are going to go in just a second and take a look at the build in the game, because I did have to cut some things out. I cut out the bathrooms on the first and second floors, and I think that's mostly it. But we'll go ahead and take a look at the build in the game in just a second. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want to download it, like I said, on the gallery, tray files will be up for channel members. And then in 3 weeks, they will be going up for everyone over on my community tab and on my Tumblr as well. In 3 weeks time, the tray files. But channel members also get early access to videos, and they also get early access to my save file. Now, I only have 1 build left in StrangerVille to do and 1 in 𝘕𝘠𝘭𝘠 that's already started. So once those 2 are done, the channel members will actually be getting another updated version of my save that hasn't seen the light of day yet. So keep your eyes out for that. But with all of that said, let's go on into the game and take a look at the finished build. So here we are in the game with the finished build. I just wanted to show you guys what it would look like on the gallery. It's just called the StrangerVille Rec Center. It is a recreation center lot type, so if you wanted to filter by that on my gallery, that would probably make it a lot easier to find. And yeah, like I said, it's not pack restricted. I used a bunch of different packs. I do apologize, but yeah, I used a ton of different things for this. But this is what the build looks like in the game. It's built on the Cliffside Crest lot. So yeah, that's the lot type. And it is just a 30 by 20 lot. And I really like the way this looks. I love this lot and how it turned out. But yeah, so this is the front of the lot. We have a couple of bikes over here. I do have a little marbles thing over there as well. This is obviously the entrance to the gym area, and then the entrance into the main like rec center. So let's go into that first, I think. So going inside, I don't know why it spawned a mailbox. That's not there in the uploaded version. But yeah, so this is the entrance. This is the little like games space. So there's a couple of games tables. There's some chess tables. I do have a little painting corner over there as well. And then yeah, we do have a little bathroom off to the side. And then going this way, we do have the little kids corner. So there's a bunch of like activities for kids to do. There's a couple of toddler things and a little infant playmat as well. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff for kids to do over there. And then going through this way, this actually leads you into the little cafe area. So we do have a cafe counter, we have a mini fridge and a microwave as well. Just because I figured, you know, if you do bring your toddlers here, for example, you can get them snacks from the mini fridge and stuff like that so that they could actually have something to eat as well. So yeah, that's a little cafe that leads you out onto the little back patio with some seating. And then you get into the back with the little splash pad area where there's a couple of like water feature things. There's a little doll's house. We have a little slide for toddlers. There's also a kiddie pool. And then obviously the big jungle gym pirate ship thing. I have a couple of grills out here in the back as well. And a little water balloon thing for your Sims if they want to have water balloon fights. But yeah, that's basically the entire exterior. Now going upstairs, we have the little like study reading space. So we have a little reading corner over there. We have a couple of computers over the place. We have obviously those research machines that I told you guys about as well. And then this is also where I have the changing table for toddlers or infants or whatever. So they do have a little changing table and a bathroom over there. And then this is where you access the party room as well. So I have this little like sign out the front. And then, yeah, this is the little party space. So we have a couple of tables. We have the bar. We have a speaker for music, some seating. We have the dance floor and the disco ball. We have the little buffet table, drinks fountain. We have this thing that I believe it's for like cakes. If you want to like bring a birthday cake, you can put it up there. I have some decorative presents up there as well. We have the little music corner with, you know, the piano and the other musical instruments, some more seating. Now, this dance floor is one that actually came with the Party Essentials kit. And it just looks like it's a taped, like, square. But if you're in live mode, that square actually vanishes. It's kind of like the aisles that came with My Wedding Stories. The, like, tape aisles, they actually vanish in gameplay. So you won't see the square, your Sims will just go there to dance. So that's actually really cool and something I really liked. So yeah, I put that one down there. And then this actually has a little bit of a fancier bathroom setup. So yeah, you come in and then you have a little mirror and some seating. And then this has two separate bathroom stalls. So yeah, you have some bathrooms up there as well. I wanted to make sure that I had a bunch of bathrooms all over the place specifically. So yeah, I wanted to add a lot of those in there. Now going back to the front, and this is the little entryway for the gym. It's very small. It's not really functional, obviously, because you don't really have like receptionists for gyms and stuff like that in the game. So this is just decorative, but your Sims come in, they go down the stairs, and then they arrive in the little pool area and the main gym. So yeah, we have obviously the pool, we have some seating over there to the side. You go through there and then you have the main gym space. So this is where we have obviously all of the gym equipment. We have a pretty mural on the wall. And then you actually also enter the yoga studio from here. So you go down there to get to the yoga studio. But right here at the front, we actually have the kind of like gym, like bathrooms and locker rooms. So we have a couple of bathroom stalls. I have some like sinks, obviously. We have some showers and then some like lockers as well. Now going downstairs, we have obviously the yoga room, which has the windows into the pool. I actually use this swatch of the base game windows that have like the tinted glass on one side. So yeah, so we have the yoga studio. I love this. This is probably one of my favorite rooms in the entire build. But yeah, so I love the way this turned out, this little like yoga studio space. But that is basically it for this entire build, you guys. Let me just give you a quick little top-down view. So this is the top floor, first floor, basement level 1, I guess, or like gym floor, and then obviously, you know, the yoga studio. But that is basically it for this build, you guys. It is up on the gallery, like I said. If you want to go ahead and download it, I'll have like the download link and gallery stuff all in the description as always. But yeah, you guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, if you did, you know, give the video a like. If you're new to the channel and want to see more Sims content, feel free to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell as well to be notified of whenever I upload a new video. And like I said, members get early access to videos and a bunch of other perks as well. So if you're interested in becoming a channel member, click on the little join button next to the subscribe button if you want to find out more about that. And yeah, like I said, they will be getting another version of my save pretty soon once I finish the last build in StrangerVille and then the last build in 𝘕𝘠𝘕 as well. Those two worlds will also be completely finished, so they'll get another early access version of my save. And we're actually making progress on the save file. I haven't updated you guys on it in a while, but I'm making progress slowly. Life has been hectic, but I'm making progress. So hopefully the second version of that will be out sometime this year. But yeah, with all of that said, hope you enjoyed it. A huge thank you to my channel members as always for all of your guys' support. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know, do all of the fun YouTube stuff. And I will talk to you all in my very next video. Bye everyone.